Welcome to Kitchen Wisdom with Arina Photography. Come on into my kitchen studio, pull up a chair, make yourself at home, and don't mind the cookie crumbs. I'm Arina, and today we're talking about something that takes over the world every fall: pumpkin spice. You see it in lattes, cookies, candles, even dog treats. But pumpkin spice is so much more than just the seasonal craze. Behind the hype is a fascinating mix of spices with history, flavor, and some pretty funny stories from my own kitchen. Let's start with the obvious: the pumpkin spice latte. Love it or roll your eyes at it, the PSL has become the unofficial symbol of fall. Starbucks launched it in 2003. And now it feels like September doesn't officially begin until someone posts a selfie with one. Honestly, I sometimes think fall decorations could wait, but PSLs, they've taken over like clockwork. The irony, of course, is that pumpkin spice has nothing to do with pumpkins. It's the spice blend we've been using for generations in pumpkin pie. So technically, we're all obsessed with spice pie lattes. But PSL sounds catchier. I'll admit, I've ordered my fair share of them, especially during busy baking days when I need that extra caffeine boost. One year, I even convinced myself it was a research expense for my food blog. But in my kitchen, pumpkin spice means so much more than just coffee. It's what makes my pumpkin bread taste like fall. It's what gives gingerbread that cozy punch. And it's what I sprinkle into everything from pancakes to whipped cream when I want to make breakfast feel special. And then there are the funny stories. Once I tried making a homemade pumpkin spice latte at home, and I got a little heavy-handed with the spice. Let's just say it tasted more like a scented candle than a drink. My husband bravely tried to sip it and then kindly suggested we just stick to coffee shops for the lattes. Another time, my daughter and I tried pumpkin spice milkshakes. It was basically pumpkin pie in a cup, and she now requests them every October. For me, pumpkin spice isn't just about the latte craze. It's a tradition, a kitchen experiment, and honestly, a little reminder that cozy season is here to stay. So what's in this magical mix? The classic pumpkin spice blend is a combination of cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, cloves, and allspice. Each spice brings something to the party. Cinnamon gives warmth and sweetness. It's that cozy backbone that makes everything taste like fall. Honestly, I put extra cinnamon in almost everything. Maybe too much sometimes, but that's my guilty pleasure. Nutmeg adds a nutty, almost woody note. I like to grate mine fresh, because it makes me feel like a fancy chef, even if I'm just baking muffins in yoga pants. Ginger brings brightness and a little kick. Too much though. And suddenly your cookies taste like they're yelling at you. Cloves give depth and a touch of bitterness that balances the sweetness. I learned the hard way not to get heavy-handed with cloves. One time I made pumpkin bread that tasted like a dentist's office. Lesson learned. Allspice, despite its name, isn't a mix of spices. It's its own berry that tastes like cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove had a baby. I always imagine it as the overachiever spice. It does a little of everything. Together, they create that flavor we instantly associate with fall. The one that makes you want to throw on a sweater and jump in a pile of leaves. The funny part? There's no pumpkin in pumpkin spice. The pumpkin flavor we all imagine is really just pumpkin paired with this spice mix. And if you've ever wondered why your plain pumpkin puree tastes kind of bland, that's why. It's the spice blend that makes it taste like fall, not the pumpkin itself. Let me take you back for a moment, because pumpkin spice didn't just show up with the latte craze. Pumpkin spice isn't new, even though it sometimes feels like a modern fad. Versions of this spice blend have been around since at least the 1700s, when American colonists made pumpkin pie with spices they inherited from European kitchens. Imagine those early settlers trying to recreate comforting old world desserts with whatever they had on hand. Pumpkin was plentiful, spices were precious, and together they created what we now think of as a holiday staple. By the 1930s, McCormick saw an opportunity and trademarked their pumpkin pie spice, selling it as a shortcut blend so home bakers didn't have to buy each spice separately. That little jar of convenience became a pantry hero, and honestly, it still is. I keep at least 2 jars in my spice drawer at all times, one for everyday baking and one just in case I get carried away in October. Trust me, running out in the middle of pie season is a crisis I don't recommend. Then came the big explosion in the 2000s, when pumpkin spice went truly mainstream. Suddenly, it wasn't just pies, it was lattes, cookies, cereals, protein bars, lip balm, candles, and even pet treats. I once spotted pumpkin spice dish soap and had to laugh. I love pumpkin spice as much as anyone, but I don't think my sink needs to smell like pie. Another time, I tried pumpkin spice potato chips on a dare. Let's just say they were memorable, but not in the good way. It's amazing and hilarious how this blend went from humble pie seasoning to full-blown cultural phenomenon. In my kitchen, pumpkin spice shows up everywhere once September hits. It's like the leaves start to change, and my spice cabinet just knows it's time to move front and center. Pumpkin muffins, pumpkin cheesecake, pumpkin cookies, you name it, I've made it. One year, I got so carried away, I even put it in scrambled eggs, just to see if it would work. Spoiler, it did not. My family still teases me about the pumpkin spice omelet incident. They even threatened to bring it up at Thanksgiving just to watch me roll my eyes. But here's the thing. When pumpkin spice is used right, it really is magic. I use it in bundt cakes with cream cheese frosting, in French toast batter, and stirred into oatmeal on chilly mornings. A sprinkle of it on oatmeal makes breakfast feel less like a Monday and more like a cozy Sunday brunch. I also love adding it to whipped cream, because then every dessert, even a plain store-bought brownie, suddenly tastes like fall. Once I made pumpkin spice whipped cream for hot cocoa at a holiday party, and a guest asked if I'd hired a barista. Nope, just me with my mixer and a spice jar. Another personal favorite, I mix pumpkin spice with sugar to keep in a little jar, just like I do with the cinnamon sugar. My daughter loves to sprinkle it on buttered toast or popcorn. The first time she did that, I thought she was crazy, but honestly, genius move. And of course, there was the infamous pumpkin spice waffle experiment. I poured way too much into the batter and ended up with waffles that tasted like they were shouting at us from the plate. We still ate them, with extra syrup, of course. But now I know. Moderation, moderation, moderation. Pumpkin spice in my kitchen isn't just an ingredient. It's a tradition, a running joke, and sometimes, yes, a little bit of chaos. But that's what makes it fun. So let's talk about some of my go-to pumpkin spice tricks, because after years of experimenting, and yes, a few disasters, I've picked up a handful of lessons worth sharing. Here are a few things I've learned through trial, error, and the occasional kitchen disaster. Make your own blend. Mixing your own pumpkin spice means you can control the ratios. I like mine heavy on the cinnamon and ginger, lighter on the cloves. One year I went overboard with the cloves in my mix, and let's just say the whole cake tasted like mouthwash. Lesson learned. Fresh spices make a difference. If your pumpkin spice jar is older than last fall, it's time to replace it. I once tried baking with a jar that had been hiding in the back of my pantry for 2 years, and the result was a very sad, flavorless pumpkin pie. Now I always buy fresh in September, like a little seasonal ritual. Don't limit it to pumpkin recipes. Try it in apple pie, pear crisps, pancakes, granola, or even hot chocolate. I've sprinkled it into whipped cream for milkshakes, and it made my daughter declare me a genius. A pinch goes a long way. Too much, and suddenly your dessert tastes like a candle aisle. Trust me, I've had muffins that could double as air fresheners. Use it sparingly, and your recipes will thank you. One thing I love about pumpkin spice is how surprisingly well it works in savory recipes. The first time I sprinkled it into roasted butternut squash soup, I thought I was being a little reckless, but it turned out so rich and comforting that now I do it every fall. A little dusting on roasted carrots, game changer. They taste sweet, earthy, and just the right amount of cozy. And yes, I even tried adding pumpkin spice to chili one chilly November evening. I braced myself for disaster, but it actually worked really well. Just don't tell my husband, because he still thinks it was secret ingredient magic. He swears I must have added some kind of chef-level secret. Nope, just pumpkin spice from the pantry. And it's not just vegetables. Pumpkin spice also pairs beautifully with nuts. Pecans, walnuts, and almonds all take on this warm, caramelized flavor when you roast them with a pumpkin spice sugar coating. A pumpkin spice candied nut mix makes an amazing holiday snack or gift. I pack them in little jars with ribbons, and they always disappear fast. Once I left a jar on the counter, and my daughter's skating coach ate half of it before practice even started. And trust me, once you start making pumpkin spice granola, you'll never go back to plain. I load mine with oats, pumpkin seeds, and dried cranberries, then toast it with maple syrup and a heavy sprinkle of spice. The whole house smells like a bakery, and breakfast suddenly feels like a celebration. Plus, it doubles as a quick snack in the car when we're dashing between errands or skating lessons. It's pumpkin spice happiness in crunchy form. Of course, not every experiment has been a success. I once tried to make pumpkin spice macarons because clearly I don't know when to stop. And they came out looking more like tiny whoopie pies. Still tasty, but definitely not Instagram worthy. And then there was the year I bought way too many cans of pumpkin puree during a sale. My pantry looked like I was preparing for a pumpkin apocalypse. But that's the fun of baking with pumpkin spice. It invites creativity, a little chaos, and a lot of cozy smells in the kitchen. So pumpkin spice may have started as a latte trend, but it's so much more than that. It's a blend with history, versatility, and a way of sneaking coziness into everything it touches. From pies and breads to soups and snacks, it has a permanent spot in my spice drawer and in my heart. If you'd like to try some of my pumpkin spice recipes, like pumpkin muffins, bundt cakes, or even spiced whipped cream, head over to my blog and YouTube channel at Arina Photography. I share recipes, tutorials, and plenty of behind the scenes kitchen stories. Until next time, happy baking, happy sipping, and may your fall always smell like pumpkin spice.